Hello and welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to talk about Momir Vig, not the MTGO format, but Momir Vig, the Simic Visionary. I do apologize about the hardcore from the vault foiling. Um, it's cool. Maybe one day they'll find a way to do it without curling. But anyway, oh, and by the way, the perfect fit sleeves. Look, I got these the day they came out, and I perfect fitted them. And look at how, I mean, it's not warped. It's you can't let the from the vault sit on a shelf for a couple of months and then decide to get them and sleeve them because they will be curled. But if you get them like day of, and open it perfect fitted or snug fitted or whatever you want to call it, it will not curl. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. Anyway, Momir Vig cares about creatures that are green and blue because I mean, when you read him, you kind of like, wow, I kind of want all my creatures to be green and blue. Well, okay, so that's what I did. So I have this fat stack of creatures here that are all blue and green. And I thought, well, if I'm going that route, let's make the whole deck Simic. Everything's blue and everything's green, and it'll all be good. So, artifact-wise, since artifacts are colorless, the artifacts that I used were the 3 rocks that have Simic in the name, because they, tap for Simic mana, and the Tablet of the Guilds, because, hey, why not? I'm using Miss Kiora and the new Nissa walkers. Now, bred for the hunt. The thing about Simic is there is, every time they've done it, or even cards that aren't like in the Ravnica blocks, but anytime that they've done the green-blue, they've gone like hardcore with the +1/+1 counters. So there's a slight +1/+1 counter theme here. All the way back from Apocalypse. This is mean. I don't know that it's 8 mana mean. I mean, +2/+2 and trample is cool and all to steal a creature and pump it. But 8 mana. Whew. Here again, this triggers off of every single, card we cast except for those 4 artifacts. But you play a card, you get a wolf and a bird. I mean, that's pretty good stuff. And I've got Favor of the Overbeing as my last enchantment, because why the hell not? It works on every single creature we have. Temporal Spring is really, really not fun, especially if they've cheated out a creature. If they don't have the mana to cast it, and you just put it on top. Urban Evolution to get us some ramp going. Unexpected results for the same. Give and Take. It's a multicolor card if you fuse it. So, Spitting Image. Let's all take a moment to appreciate Retrace. The fact that you can just pay 6 mana and discard a land and play this Sun Gun from your graveyard, and it does not exile itself, so every land you draw is another potential Spitting Image. Gosh, I love Retrace. Ether Mutation. Now, this is a beast of a card. Sorcery hurts a little bit. It would be great if it was instant. Probably too powerful. But to bounce something and get a bunch of dudes seems pretty good. Biomantic Mastery. I'm going to draw a card for each creature you got, and then a card for each creature you got. So if you can pick yourself as one of them, you can pick the sapling player, the goblin player, the elf. I mean, things just, have a way of You draw a bunch of cards. Bow Shift. Since we are tinkering with some counters, we're going to, tinker with counters. Snake Form. As long as that Joker ain't got Shroud or Hexproof, you know what? It's gone. Avacyn, get out of here. Because they lose their abilities. It's an instant, so you're going to do it as they attack. I mean, it even draws you a card. So, I mean, really like it. Biomass Mutation. For when you do have those saprolings and you just absolutely positively need to, wreck the board. Invert the Skies. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of one of those cards that are when you got to alpha swing and got to win right then. This is what you do. Have to have the Simic charm, Hydroform. And we come down to our 3 counter spells in the form of Plasm Capture, Void Slime, and Mystic Genesis. Don't have the snake because I don't have the snake. The snake is good. Snake was the first. Okie dokie. With the newest creature, we're into the creatures now. The very newest one that the deck has, Weaver Occurrence. Because it's, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Simic Worn Power Stone. Worn Power Stone costs 3, gives you 2 colorless, comes into play tapped. This has Summoning Sickness. Pretty much the same card, except this dies to creature removal. So, Heretic. Might as well. Altered Ego. Wistful Selkie. Dying Crassus. Fungal Shambler. Here again, just, man. Back in the early days of Magic, I was explaining this last night. The early days of Magic, okay, some of this is fact. I'll tell you where it becomes my opinion. In the early days of Magic, according to Richard Garfield, Mark Rosewater, and everybody that, who has been in it for a long time, they didn't realize what they were doing, but the spells were better than the creatures. And they want us to play with creatures. They want us to have creature decks and to, tap dudes and turn sideways and whatever. But cards like this, it's 7 mana, 6/4 trample. I mean, it's got some funky little abilities. Sure, that's fine. But the creatures weren't as good as the spells. So this thing called power creep. Okay, this is where my opinion starts. This thing called power creep doesn't actually exist. Yeah. It's crazy, and I know, but here's my reasoning for it. What they have done over the years is they have tried to get creatures more in line with the spells. And the spells were too dang good to begin with. I mean, look at it. The 1-for-3 cycle from Alpha, Lightning Bolt, Dark Ritual, Ancestral Recall, Giant Growth. Lightning Bolt, Giant Growth, not really the strong one of that cycle. But, and Terror and Sword to Plowshare, even later Path to Exile, Wrath of God, Counterspell. The spells are always better than the creatures. And the creatures, quite frankly, sucked. Juzam Djinn, I swear to you, if he had been printed for the first time in Amonkhet, he would be a $2 card. Because it's just because he's old and he's reserved and they're not going to print anymore. But it's not because of the playability of that card. The very first time I ever saw Juzam Djinn, I was like, oh, wow, cool, Spirit Link it. And I think my opponent shed actual tears. But they're just trying what they had been doing for the past so many years once they realized it, is they're trying to make the creatures better to line up with the spell. Anyway, my opinion, sorry. Random tangent, y'all know how it is. Okay, let's get back to the Simic dudes. We have Imperial Voyager. Gotta have the Beast. Sturdy Hatchling. Trigon Predator, I dare say, is probably one of the greatest Simic creatures ever. This guy is amazing. Even when he came out, I just absolutely lost my ever-loving mind. He came out a couple blocks after we hit Mirrored the first time, so people were like still crutching hard on some artifacts, but anyway, love him to death. Unblockable is kind of a neat ability. And here again, we have our version of Doomblade. No, it's not Doomblade because it's 3 mana. What is that? Our version of Murder, essentially. So we're going to flash it out and block with it. And it has Death Touch. The only thing that could make this better is like First Strike. I don't know. Okay, Skyfolk. Gotta have the Slippery Bogle, Curious Follower, Jungle Barrier, Coiling Oracle, Edric. Y'all remember the Viral deck. Sages. Okay, now we get to the +1/+1 cards. The +1/+1 counters. We're going to start off with Prime Speaker Zagana and Experiment. Because, let's face it, they're both amazing. I'm not sure if I've done those decks yet. Let's see. Nimbus Swimmer is just, it's made for it, especially if you've got like the Gilder Baron, to just double those counters. And why am I getting fuzzy? There we go. Master Biomancer helps the counters. We've got some graph dudes. Had drawing cards, getting counters. Moving around counters. We have the other guild mage. Counters, I'm telling you, man. And then we've got our evolve guys. And that is, check out my non-basics here, is pretty much everything that you would think of. I've got the Heart of Progress there. But that is what I have got for multicolor Momir Vig. I do appreciate you watching. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut on out of here.